The Hierophant, card 5. The Hierophant is the guardian of tradition, religion, initiation, sacred systems. He represents inherited wisdom, but also conformity. The word Hierophant originally referred to a priest in the Eleusinian mysteries of ancient Greece. These secret initiations promised spiritual transformation through symbolic death and rebirth. Little known fact, some researchers believe elements of ancient mystery school initiation survived symbolically inside tarot traditions. The Hierophant asks, what wisdom should be preserved, and what beliefs should be transcended? The Lovers, card 6. Most misunderstand this card. The Lovers is not merely romance. It is choice, alignment, union of opposites. In many decks, the imagery echoes Adam and Eve before the fall. A moment of innocence before duality fractures consciousness. Psychologically, this card represents integration, the harmonizing of inner conflict. Little known fact, earlier tarot versions often called this card the Choice. Love is not only emotion. It is the act of choosing what we unite ourselves with. The Chariot, card 7. The Chariot symbolizes disciplined will, movement, victory through self-mastery. The charioteer controls two opposing creatures, often black and white. Opposing forces, instinct and reason, chaos and order. The secret, the chariot moves forward not by eliminating conflict, but by directing it. Little known fact, some esoteric traditions associated the chariot with astral travel and the sole vehicle of consciousness. Strength, card 8. Strength depicts a woman gently taming a lion. Not through violence. Through calm mastery. This card teaches that true strength is internal, not domination. Integration. Little known fact, in some early tarot systems, strength and justice exchanged numerical positions. Occultists later debated the hidden symbolic meaning of the switch for centuries. Strength represents mastery over the animal self. The Hermit, card 9. The Hermit walks alone carrying a lantern. Inside the lantern shines a six-pointed star. A symbol linked to sacred geometry, macrocosm and microcosm, and spiritual illumination. The Hermit represents solitude, wisdom, inner truth, withdrawal from noise. Little known fact, many mystical traditions describe enlightenment as a lonely process. Not isolation from humanity, but separation from illusion. The Hermit teaches, silence reveals what distraction conceals. Wheel of Fortune, card 10. The wheel turns endlessly. Rise, fall, death, rebirth, cycles. No condition remains permanent. Little known fact, the strange letters often found on the wheel can be interpreted as Tarot or Torah, layered symbolic references possibly intended as hidden esoteric puzzles. The wheel reminds us, control is often an illusion. Wisdom comes from learning to move with change. Justice, card 11. Justice sits with scales and sword. Balance and consequence. This is not revenge. It is universal equilibrium. Psychologically, justice represents accountability. The recognition that actions shape reality. Little known fact, some occult traditions associated justice with karma long before Eastern philosophy became widely known in the West. The Hanged Man, card 12. The Hanged Man hangs upside down. Yet he appears peaceful. He symbolizes surrender, perspective reversal, spiritual sacrifice. Little known fact, some historians connect this image to Odin hanging from the world tree in Norse mythology to gain hidden wisdom. The lesson, transformation sometimes requires letting go of control. Death, card 13. One of the most feared cards. And one of the most misunderstood. Death rarely means literal death. It means irreversible transformation. Something must end. so something greater can emerge. Little known fact, many older tarot decks left the Death card unnamed entirely. Possibly to deepen its mystery and symbolic power. Death teaches, the ego fears endings. The soul requires them. Temperance, card 14. Temperance pours liquid between two cups. Blending opposites. Creating harmony. Alchemy in symbolic form. This card represents integration, balance, healing, spiritual refinement. Little known fact, alchemy was never only about turning lead into gold. Many alchemists saw the process as symbolic inner transformation. The purification of consciousness. Temperance is spiritual chemistry. The Devil, card 15. The devil represents bondage, addiction, material obsession, self-imposed chains. But look closely. The chains around the figures are loose. Meaning, much of human imprisonment is psychological. Little known fact, occult interpretations often describe the devil not as evil itself, but as unconscious attachment. The shadow only controls what remains unseen.